Hey darlings, welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales, the space where we speak truth, peel back the palace PR and stand by the Sussexes when the rest of the press plays blind. Today's story, it's about a father desperately reaching out and a cold, calculated institution pretending not to hear. We're diving into shocking revelations from a recent episode of Royally Unfiltered. Yes, the same tabloid mouthpiece featuring Kinsey Schofield, Hugo Vickers and Robert Jobson, the royal rota's most loyal gatekeepers. But honey, when they try to paint Prince Harry's love for his family as manipulation, that's when we push back. Let's unpack this. Prince Harry's efforts to bridge the emotional distance with King Charles are not grand gestures, but simple, private acts of love. Moments that speak volumes in their quiet sincerity. Yet these gestures are often twisted by those who profit from conflict, painting vulnerability as weakness and turning genuine emotion into fodder for public consumption. We must look past protocol and public perception to see the human emotions at the core, the longing, the hope and the pain that exist behind closed doors. This is not about judgment, but about understanding. A son who lost his mother at a young age, now fearing the loss of his father, carrying the weight of grief and uncertainty. The family is fractured by duty, distance and relentless scrutiny, each member isolated in their own way, struggling to find common ground. Harry's story is not a grand declaration, but a quiet plea for empathy, a hope that someone will listen, that someone will care. He shares moments of his children's lives, sending drawings and stories, hoping to spark a connection that bridges generations and heals old wounds. But too often, calls go unanswered, creating a painful void that echoes through the halls of memory and longing. The narrative has been cruelly twisted by outsiders, but at its heart is a simple, enduring truth, a son's love for his father, unbroken by distance or misunderstanding. We must see with our hearts, recognizing the humanity in this royal drama and remembering that behind every title is a person who feels deeply. This is a call for empathy, a reminder that even in gilded cages, the heart needs kindness, and that compassion is the bridge that can unite even the most divided families. Let's peel back the layers and see the raw emotions beneath the tears, the tension, and the hope for reconciliation. In the end, it's about supporting those who are misunderstood, offering a hand to those who feel alone, and remembering the universal need for connection that binds us all, no matter our circumstances. Reaching out is instinctive, a son calling his father, hoping for a familiar voice on the other end, seeking comfort in a simple exchange of words. And on the other side, a father missing his son, feeling the ache of absence in quiet moments. Prince Harry has sent messages, photos and videos, hoping to keep his family connected across continents, bridging the distance with every heartfelt gesture. These are not public stunts, but private acts of love and longing, small attempts to maintain a bond that once felt unbreakable. Yet, the palace's silence is a powerful rejection, prioritizing protocol over paternity, tradition over tenderness. Every unanswered call deepens the wound, leaving Harry to wonder if love is conditional, if family ties can truly withstand the weight of royal expectations. The narrative suggests Harry must prove loyalty, but what greater proof than a son's unwavering love shown in every attempt to reach out? He seeks not a monarch, but a father. Not a public reconciliation, but a private relationship, away from the glare of cameras and the judgment of the world. The silence is not dignified. It's a missed opportunity for healing, a chance for understanding slipping quietly away. The pain is not in harsh words, but in the emptiness of no words at all, in the echo of calls that go unanswered. Harry's efforts are not about public forgiveness, but about family, about restoring what has been lost in the noise of duty. He wants his children to know their grandfather, not a distant king, to feel the warmth of family rather than the chill of formality. The tragedy is that this simple wish is ignored, left unanswered like so many calls before. The silence is a monument to lost chances for love, a reminder of what could have been if only someone had answered. In the end, it's a human plea for connection, not a royal negotiation, a son's hope that love can still find its way home. Imagine for a moment if the roles were reversed, if the son, not the father, chose silence. If Harry ignored his father's calls, the press would erupt, condemning him as cold and heartless, questioning his loyalty and compassion. The headlines would be relentless, painting him as a villain, a betrayer of family and tradition. Yet when King Charles remains silent, the narrative shifts. His silence is framed as noble restraint, a dignified response to turmoil. The double standard is glaring. One's silence is labelled as cruelty, while the other's is elevated to an act of dignity and wisdom. Commentators and experts rush to protect the institution, sacrificing truth and compassion for the sake of preserving a carefully crafted image. The pain Harry feels is dismissed, written off as mere collateral damage in a never-ending public relations war. The monarchy's silence is celebrated as strength, while Harry's would be vilified as weakness or rebellion. This reveals a powerful bias, one that protects the crown at the expense of genuine humanity and empathy. The real story, the one that matters, is lost in the relentless machinery of propaganda and spin. The institution's image is endlessly polished and protected, while the individual's heart and pain are ignored, left in the shadows. When silence is weaponized or glorified, depending on who wields it, the very idea of fairness and justice is lost. We must look beyond the surface, see through the narrative, and recognize the true human cost of these double standards. In the end, it's not about royalty or reputation, but about the deep pain of being unheard, unseen, and misunderstood. The media twists Harry's attempts at connection, casting suspicion on every gesture. His love is framed as self-interest, his vulnerability as manipulation. This isn't accidental. It's a narrative designed to protect the monarchy. Commentators ignore Harry's pain, dismissing his advocacy for mental health while fueling the pressures he faces. They demand compliance, punishing him for choosing his family's well-being. Instead of journalism, it's public bullying, reinforcing outdated hierarchies. The palace's silence is never questioned. Harry's every move is dissected. By refusing to see his outreach as love, they perpetuate a cycle of pain. The truth is simple: a son misses his father, and the world refuses to see it. To understand Harry, look beyond the palace. See the veteran, advocate, husband and father. His military service shaped him, inspiring the Invictus Games and a commitment to others. The trauma of losing his mother in public shaped his advocacy for mental health. He's not fragile, he's resilient, turning pain into purpose. Stepping back from royal duties was an act of protection, not weakness. He chose peace for his family, refusing to repeat the past. The media misses this context, seeing only a prince who left, not a man fighting for his family. Despite criticism and silence, Harry keeps reaching out, refusing to let bitterness win. His actions are not manipulation, but strength and hope. He is a survivor, still hoping for a call from his dad. This is the Harry the world should see. His story is about resilience, not rebellion. At its core, it's about a son's enduring hope for love and connection. The focus often falls on father and son, but Meghan and their children are central to this story. Meghan has faced relentless, unfair scrutiny, blamed for choices that were Harry's own. The media erases her identity, reducing her to a villain to protect the status quo. Archie and Lilibet are innocent victims, growing up distant from their grandfather. Harry's efforts to share their lives are met with silence, denying them family connection. The palace's detachment is not just a rejection of Harry, but of his children. The greatest tragedy is the loss of simple family joys for a new generation. We must remember the unseen cost children deprived of love by adult conflict. Beneath the crowns and ceremonies, this is a story about people, a father, a son, a family divided. King Charles's silence is not strength but emotional neglect. The media profits from conflict, deepening the divide and silencing empathy. We have a choice: consume the toxic narrative or seek the humanity at the heart of the story. Harry is not a rebel, but a resilient man fighting for his family. Reconciliation cannot fall on him alone. His father must reach back. True strength is vulnerability, not stoic silence. The monarchy would be strengthened, not weakened, by compassion. Let's reject division and choose empathy, remembering the real people behind the headlines. In the end, let's hope love prevails and a father's heart opens to his son.